This is Spotlight Omaha. Spotlight Omaha is a local podcast that highlights local businesses and influential movers and shakers in the Omaha business community. Spotlight Omaha is brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Now, from the Pyramid Contractor Studios, the host of Spotlight Omaha, Jimmy Allen.
Good morning and welcome into the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If your company needs help managing your social media or your online advertising needs a little bit of a spark, check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Joining us in the Pyramid Contractor Studios, Gil Cohen with the Omaha Magazine. Thanks for being here, Gil. Appreciate it.
Very excited to be here, Jimmy. Thanks for the invite.
I think Omaha Magazine has become a staple in this town, and you guys do such great work in featuring businesses. Can you tell people exactly what Omaha Magazine is, what you're trying to accomplish with the publication?
Yeah, absolutely. So Omaha Magazine is pretty much our core product. The owner, Todd Lemke, publisher, has had the magazine for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Started out, actually, Omaha Magazine goes back well over 100 years. Went through various owners and
most
things like
successful
that.
Businesses do.
Yeah, and different names. And Todd was able to get the name back about 40 years or so ago. And primarily, Omaha Magazine has been Omaha City Magazine for over 40 years. And we also have a great relationship with hotels in the city. So we had two magazines actually that went out. One was specifically for the hotels, and then the other one is our subscription-based magazine. And a lot of the content from the subscription-based publication is also in our hotel magazine. Now we've merged those two, and so there's only one that goes out to the hotels. It's the same one we send out to our subscribers. But since then, we've grown Omaha Publications, which is the umbrella company to Omaha Magazine, to somewhere around 23 or 24 different publications.
Wow.
I brought some along. If you guys
name them all, go. No.
I've been asked to do that before, but in the interest of time,
sure.
we do several, along with Omaha Magazine. We have our other core magazine, which is B2B Magazine. It's direct mail to over 19,000 businesses in the Omaha metro area. Omaha Magazine itself enjoys about 23,000 home and business subscribers. We're the only subscription-based magazine really in the state. We're part of an association called the City Regional Magazine Association, which puts us in the same association as 5280 Magazine, which is basically Denver's magazine, Dallas Magazine, Yankee Magazine, St. Louis Magazine, Des Moines Magazine. So a lot of people in Omaha don't realize that when they're participating, whether it's an editorial piece or whether it's through advertising, that pretty elite.
A pretty big reach.
Pretty elite group.
I've been really impressed by the way you guys at Omaha Publications have not only been able to keep your finger on the pulse of print. I'm a print guy. I've got a journalism degree.
Oh, I love to hear that.
People ask me despite the fact that I'm doing this, but the website looks incredible. The way you guys have been able to do, and I was watching the Faces of Omaha option that you guys have on there. It's a video, but when you click on the video, it takes you to the businesses page. And I thought that was incredible and a great feature on the site. Why have you been able to kind of not only keep the old school feel with it for a print and an actual in-hand object, as well as being able to put out a great digital product? Where does that passion come from?
Yeah, well, we have to adapt to the times,
Sure.
and digital is huge right now. Obviously,
thanks for watching today.
Thanks for watching today. A lot of people have mentioned to me over the last several years, I think print is dead, and I keep reminding them, no, it's Prince who's dead, not print.
Yeah.
And
we still love Purple Rain, though.
And so we've been able to create that relationship between print and digital to enhance our readership, enhance our engagement with our viewers and our readers. A lot of it goes back to our core demographic, especially with Omaha Magazine. Our core demographic historically has been about 65% female, ages 40 to 70. But obviously, we want to pick up younger viewers, and they're not necessarily so much into reading magazines, and so we've gone to we've adapted to the digital side. There's a lot of people are reading, even if they're not reading the physical magazine, they're looking at it just like you did on their laptop or on their tablet or even on their mobile devices.
I was having this conversation with a gentleman the other day at a doctor's office. Him and his wife were sitting there. They were an older couple. Excuse me. And my wife and I were sitting there, and we were passing our phones back and forth, just laughing and talking about something that was going on our phone. And I noticed this guy was watching us, and he stopped us, and he goes, we often hear that those things, and talking about the phones, are detrimental to relationships, but you guys are just, sitting there, enjoying it together.
Yeah.
And I said, this is our version. This is my generation, the generation after me's version of the newspaper. This is how we get our daily information. This is how we stay connected.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys have done such a great job of connecting both generations to the same product.
Yeah, and that's ultimately that's the goal. We have to continue to attract new viewers and new subscribers, and digital is just one of the unique opportunities for us to be able to do that.
I want to talk about the sales portion of things. For a lot of people that listen to my radio show don't know, I also handle the sales portion for my radio show. And it's a fact that I didn't think I was going to like, but I truly enjoy, because it gives you the ability to connect with people, help build their brands and things like that. Why has Omaha Magazine been able to keep the longstanding investors / sponsors of the magazine that you've been able to? And what has changed about the sales portion of things over the years?
Sales is sales. A lot of it has to do with competition. We don't necessarily, there's competition in Omaha, but not necessarily competition in what we do, especially with the reach that we have. We're the only magazine, Omaha Magazine is the only magazine that is in a hotel. And it's not just the hotels in Douglas County, but we also distribute those hotels or those magazines to hotels in Sarpy County, Pottawatomie County, and Harrison County. I think there's only 2 hotels in Harrison County, but still, Missouri Valley.
Yeah, sure.
So that's an opportunity. Segue a little bit. Let's say if you're a restaurant and you're trying to attract visitors to Omaha, in particular, visitors to Omaha spend somewhere around $400 million a year just in food and beverage. So if
there's a lot of restaurants in this town.
There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of places to choose from.
Yeah.
So if you're a restaurant in Omaha, you probably have a pretty good following of regulars from the Omaha metro area that come visit you. But with over 12 million visitors a year to the Omaha metro area, they bring in $1.5 billion, or probably north of that now. The latest numbers from the Convention Bureau.
How much does the growth of Gretna and Elkhorn and the resurgence in Omaha, South Omaha, North Omaha really help those numbers, do you think?
Well, a lot of that is residential. Sure. Obviously, there's folks that are putting up restaurants and coffee shops and apartment buildings. But there's some hotels going out in Gretna and probably some more in Sarpy County. And so there's just gives a little bit more of an opportunity for tourists to come in. And so restaurants or even retail locations that want to capture that, $1.5 billion in sales, we're pretty much the only game in town for them to be able to do that outside of some of the visitors guides that we do. But a lot of those are distributed outside of the Omaha metro area. People are planning their trips to Sarpy County. They're planning their trips to Omaha. And so it gives them an idea of what's available to them once they get here. But once they're here, you have a captive audience of somebody sitting in a hotel room saying, okay, where are we going to eat tonight? Where are we going to shop? What attractions are we going to go see while we're here? And the magazine just gives them the opportunity to see what's available.
Encompasses all of that, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
We're catching up with Gil Cohen of Omaha Magazine here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. I want to talk about Best Of. It's become a monster in its own right. I mean, you see people putting posters and things like that all over their business, especially when they win. When did Best Of start? Why do you think it's caught on the way it has and kind of become its own entity?
Yeah, so Best of Omaha started in 1992. So this will be the 34th year.
You feeling old yet?
So I've only been with the magazine since 2007.
I'm just saying 1992 was 33 years ago.
33 years ago. Todd started the contest about 33 years ago. It started July 1st and it'll run till August 20th. It's probably the most legitimate contest probably in the nation. I've done talks in St. Louis in particular with other publishers around town through that association, and talked about how Best of Omaha works, how we verify the email addresses, people that register for Best of Omaha, the voters that register, how they can only vote one time. They can't go on every single day. They can go on and change their vote every day, but they can't vote for the same company every single day. They only have one vote per company. And so the fact that we verify the email addresses, there can only be one vote per IP address. There can only be one vote per email address, 2 votes per IP address. So that keeps businesses that maybe have 100 or 200 employees sitting in one building from being able to vote.
2 votes.
Yeah, they just get 2 votes for that IP address assigned to that building. Now they can go home and vote again under a different email address, but if you're going to take that much time to do that,
maybe
you're pretty dedicated
win, right?
you're pretty dedicated to the contest.
We talked to a ton of new businesses on here, and for anybody that doesn't know what the process looks like, if somebody's trying to register to be one of the votees to register to get votes, how does that process work? What does that look like?
Yeah, they can certainly call anybody in the office. They can call me.
Phone number is
402-884-2047, or they can email us. The easiest way is to just go to our website, and there's a link on the website for business resources. They can go on, they can register their business, and then we assign them a QR code and a quick vote link. And what that does is that allows the business to promote the quick vote code or the link via an email or on any of their social media, website, etc., asking people to go vote. When they click on that link or they click on the QR code, if they're already registered, it will automatically fill out the name of the business on the ballot.
Wow, okay.
If they haven't registered to vote yet, then it'll take them to the registration page. They fill out the registration. We send them a verification email, and then they can go back and vote for that business. So
you mentioned the different boroughs of Omaha a minute ago, and we talked to plumbers and roofers or whatever. There's talk about codes and keeping things. Things are so much different as soon as you cross the Sarpy County line, things like that. When we're talking about doing business or representing businesses in different parts of Omaha, how hard is that to navigate? And do you notice that at all, or is it a matter of, hey, Omaha's Omaha?
Yeah, I think people, when they can, Sarpy County has grown so much in the last 10 or 15 years, with more attractions over there, more hotels, more businesses. But there's several, I think when people think of Omaha, just my opinion, they think of the metro area. They're not, Sarpy County is made up of, Bellevue and Gretna and Papillion and what else is over there, but La Vista. And so it's a little unique that Sarpy County is considered Sarpy County, where Omaha is not considered Douglas County.
Right.
It's Omaha. So when you think of Omaha, I think they just think of and I think that also includes Council Bluffs. I think a lot of people think of the Omaha metro area as just this whole quadrant of Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Sarpy County.
I was going to ask you about that because a lot of people in this room obviously do a ton of business on the other side of the river because it's essentially Omaha East, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about featuring businesses in Omaha, is Council Bluffs off limit to what you guys want to feature, or have there been Council Bluffs centric articles in the magazine, and are you open to that?
Yeah, no, we'll cover anything in the metro area if it's unique. In terms of the Best of Omaha contest, it's kind of relegated to Omaha businesses. I believe Council Bluffs has Best of the Bluffs or something. They have their own contest over there. And I believe Sarpy County had or has something similar. But, if it's a restaurant in Sarpy County, they can qualify. Yeah, it's Omaha. So.
Do you know what the most unique category of Best of Omaha is? Do you have one that maybe 1 or 2 only participants?
Well, that's a tough question, Jimmy. I would, we change categories every year.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't get the actual voting results. So I couldn't tell you if the Pixel restaurant, and just use the name Pixel.
Sure.
I couldn't tell you if Pixel got 1,000 votes or if they got 10 votes. We don't get those individual numbers. We just find out who came in first, second, or third. But some of the other unique categories, the best chimichanga or the best fish fry, things like that people might be interested in. They may vote for those particular categories, but
I think of Omaha in a time frame in a year is kind of based on events, right? You have the St. Stan's Festival, the College World Series, you have fish fries, to your point a minute ago. How do you guys kind of tailor the magazine to the Omaha calendar, and how does that affect your guys' day-to-day business?
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier before we started recording, we have our own events that we put on. We have a B2B networking event that we started again this year. So we invite our B2B advertisers and folks who want to network with other B2B, other business leaders in the community to attend those events.
You do one of those a year?
No, actually, we'll do 6, one for each issue of B2B magazine. So we've already held 2. We have another one coming up here July 30th at the Steelhouse down in
great venue.
It's very cool. Omaha's so lucky to have the arts community that we have. I know I got off the topic.
And those guys at OPA are fantastic.
Yeah, they do a great job, and we have a great relationship with OPA. We publish their Broadway series program books. So we've had a relationship with them ever since OPA, formerly OPAS, got started. And then we'll start doing Omaha Magazine events too. Basically, they are what we would call launch parties. So when the magazine comes out, it's an opportunity for people to kind of get a sneak peek as to the magazine. And then after Best of Omaha, we have our Best of Omaha soiree. This year it'll be at Xenia, I believe, out in Elkhorn. And
we just had Allison in on the podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, great.
I was watching that with her.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe it's going to be at Xenia. And
just
so
make sure you tell her you saw her on the podcast. That's why you guys should out there. Goes a long way, folks.
Yeah. And that's a great opportunity for Best of Omaha winners to come in and celebrate their Best of Omaha winning achievement with other Best of Omaha winners. General public can buy tickets to that as well. But typically, historically, it's been Best of Omaha winners that are there to network and celebrate their winning Best of Omaha.
And we're catching up with Gil Cohen here of the Omaha Magazine, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. We talk about growth and expansion. We've kind of talked about the digital side of things. What does growth for Omaha Magazine and Omaha Publications look like over the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. Well, we have a new CEO, Bill Sitzman. I don't know if you know Bill at all. He's been our creative director for several years. He's got a vision to continue to move the magazine into areas that include video production. We actually have a OTT commercial that we put together for Sarpy County Tourism.
Okay.
Doing some programmatic advertising with them. So
you have an award-winning podcast.
Well, I haven't won any awards yet, unless you want to give me one today.
Yeah, there you go. We'll hand one out the door.
We did start a podcast last year. I'm the host of that. We recorded about 24, 25 episodes.
Slacker.
And
what is something about podcasting that you've enjoyed that maybe you didn't think you would when you got into it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jimmy. I think the opportunity to interview movers and shakers in Omaha, that the guests that I've had on the show have included the fire chief. I'm probably giving you some ideas and some thoughts. Yeah. Kathy Bosman, our Omaha fire chief, who fortunately is going to be able to stay on with the new administration. Yeah. She's one of a handful of female fire chiefs in the nation. There's less than 6%.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And so you figure of every town and every state in America, and she's one of 6% of female fire chiefs in the nation.
Did you get a chance to interview John Ewing yet?
No, he's scheduled for our next round.
We had him in. He was fantastic.
So,
That's the other reason.
yeah, I've known John for a couple of years. He's I think I hope and I think he'll do a really good job. Mayor Stothert was on earlier this year. Roger Dixon, who just announced his retirement, was a guest. Sandy Buddha, Father Hendrickson, president of Creighton University, Dr. Joanne Lee, the chancellor from UNO. Yep. We've had TV stars, Randy Goodwin. Just be able to chat with people of that, I don't want to say necessarily that caliber, but just that level of
influence on the city.
Influence in the city, yeah, has been really enlightening.
You mentioned a couple interesting things there, and I think this gets lost a lot of times just because of how visible the red end 45 miles down the road or 45 minutes down the road is. But we have so many great schools and universities in this town, whether it be UNO, whether it be Creighton, College of St. Mary's, Bellevue University, etc. How much does the ability to reach the younger demographic at the collegiate level with how many schools are in the Omaha vicinity, is that a benefit to Omaha Magazine in any way to try to reach that demographic like we talked about earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. Several years ago, this is going back 40 years, the governor of North Carolina realized that kids were going or attending University of North Carolina, Wake Forest, Duke University, NC State, and they were getting their degrees and leaving.
Yeah.
And, that wasn't necessarily the case in Omaha 40 years ago, but, kind of now it is. And so for these universities, I know Creighton's got a great record, terrific record of keeping kids in Omaha, or at least the Omaha metro area after graduation. I'm sure UNO does too, and Metro, Bellevue, but
I believe Creighton and Bellevue are both like top 15% in the country.
So to kind of marry that with what we want to do is to continue to be a resource for that age group to find out what's going on in their city, to find out, who are the mover and shakers, what restaurant should I be going to, who should I be following on a social media standpoint, so that they know there's more to do in Omaha than, we don't have the beaches, we don't have the mountains, but just like we mentioned earlier, we have a tremendous arts community, we have a tremendous philanthropic community. Unemployment is very low, so the ability for them to find a job here is a lot easier than some other cities. So
we talk about opportunities like the Mutual of Omaha building that's going up downtown, and the Omaha Library moving locations and things like that. Like when you see, we've talked to a lot of builders and a lot of developers, and they talk about the benefits of those things. Does that filter down to a place like Omaha Magazine? Obviously, it's topics that you can cover and things like that. But when there's that big of a significant change or addition in Omaha, is it felt at your level?
I would think so. I mean, you look at areas like Blackstone District, what do they have slated? $6 to $8 billion in increased development just in that Blackstone District. A lot of that has to do with the streetcar and plans.
Now, if we could just get that put in, that'd be great.
Well, they're working on it. Yeah. I can tell you, I drive downtown quite often, and those streets are under repair or under work to get that streetcar put in. But that's just going to create more opportunity for us to attract retail advertisers, more stories, just like you mentioned, what's going on with different developers in town, and what's going to keep that age group engaged with their community.
You brought some literature with you today. You mentioned the different brands.
I'll turn away from the
camera here for if you want to go ahead and grab those, we could showcase those.
I did bring some along. Obviously, Omaha Magazine, most recent issue. Like I mentioned, 23,000 home and business subscribers.
Yeah.
And then a unique thing that we do.
Is that my guy Chef West on the cover? I didn't know he was on there. Okay.
Yeah, he's actually been doing some social media with us.
Yeah, he's great. Shout out to Tay.
Willie Thiessen's on the cover there too, and Todd Simon. I'm not familiar who the other ones are, but
he's the only one I recognize.
Was it Tay Westbury?
Yeah.
Yep. This was actually this photo was actually taken at the park down in Heartland America
Okay.
Park, or
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the new mutual building
mutual
right there.
building in the
We
background.
just talked about. Yeah, fantastic.
So this happens to be our food issue, which comes
Okay.
out in July or June, the June issue. So this was pretty popular edition.
Tay's been on 3 different reality cooking shows and is
Yeah.
fantastic at what he does. He's a local DJ as well.
He's been doing some social media posts for us on our website, and so yeah, kind of fun to have him along. So this is and so where I was getting at was outside of in addition to the print part, we also email a link to a digital version of this to about 200,000 opted in emails.
Opted in, so they're choosing to accept it. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Awesome.
These are people historically have voted for Best of Omaha that have opted in to receive additional information from us. So this is one of their benefits and this is free.
Sure.
They can go online and read it for free. We're not like some others, I won't mention their name, that charge.
I saw the urge to.
No, I'll throw anybody under the bus.
Sure.
I got friends that work down there, but that's a huge opportunity for them to get the magazine online. And it could be anywhere, you know.
And anybody that wants to sponsor it, they're getting that free notification too.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else we have?
So what else did I bring along? We do visitors guides from Council Bluffs all the way out to Western Nebraska. So we got the Council Bluffs Visitors Guide. I won't show all of them in particular.
I think I have to ask you the great debate we often have on the radio.
What's that?
What defines Western Nebraska? Where does Western Nebraska start?
Well, in this case, for purposes of the Visitors Guide, it's Lincoln County north. So like North Platte up to Valentine.
I've always said North Platte has been my answer. Some people have said Kearney, so I was very interested to see your answer.
Yeah. The Western Nebraska Travel Coalition is basically North Platte up to Valentine, and then west Scottsbluff and Alliance, that area. So there's about 20 counties out there that participate in this particular visitor's guide. Western Nebraska, destination Western Nebraska. And
how many of these publications are unique, created by Omaha Publishing versus maybe an acquired acquisition with an existing publication?
Well, typically in these visitors guides, the individual tourism directors supply the content.
Okay.
So we're not doing any of the writing for these visitors guides. Omaha Visitors Guide in particular, we do the advertising sales for it. We send them all the information. They do the layout, design, writing, all the editorial. Some of the other ones that we do, particularly the Western Nebraska or Sarpy County or Southeast Nebraska Visitors Guide, they will send us the content. We lay it out, and we do the advertising sales. We do the layout, design, send it to them, the proof, and then go on down the road. Another one annual that we do is the Old Market Directory, work in relationship with the Old Market Association. So this is a great little pocket guide for people that come into town, want to know what's happening close to downtown, Capital District, downtown.
I feel like post-pandemic is like the least amount of time the Old Market has changed. Is that fair to say? Because there's been a ton of change, and a lot. Obviously, like you have your staples, like with Spaghetti Works.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, and things like that. But like, it just feels like a lot of those businesses that have been there post 2021 have kind of all stuck around.
Yeah, you can. I follow. I don't know if you follow them, but one of my best sales leads, and I've told these guys this before, is Grow Omaha.
Yeah, they're great.
And
friends of the channel.
Sorry,
they're friends of the channel.
Yeah. No, I've known Trenton and Jeff for years. In fact, they were on my podcast.
Okay.
Our podcast, not mine.
Yeah.
Omaha Magazine. But they'll come out weekly with new restaurants, and then they'll come out with closed restaurants.
Yeah.
And so I think in a growing community, you're going to see that come and go. Kind of depends on. I always tell people, if you're not advertising, you need to get your name out there, and that's a big part of why some of these folks, I think, have maintained their length of time.
I always tell people, everybody knows what Coca-Cola is, and they advertise more than anybody. So
there's a story out there, Jimmy, that if Coca-Cola, if they had one of their major plants blow up, and they couldn't produce any Coca-Cola, but they continued to advertise, it would affect them a lot less brand wise than if they couldn't produce and they quit advertising because they say, hey, we can't sell anything. So that same vein, during COVID, there were several of my restaurants that a couple of my advertisers that closed during that time, and they called me and they said, hey, we're going to be closed. Can we stop our advertising? Yeah, I get it. I understand that. But let's just do it for a short period of time because you're going to be open again and you got to keep your name and brand out there.
Well, it's the fear aspect, right? We don't know when we're going to open again, so we've got to pause all outgoing cash flow. But can you afford to do that?
Yeah.
That's the real question.
And going back to Coca-Cola, I mean, when's the last time you walked through the checkout stand at Baker's or Hy-Vee and had a 6-pack of Coke, and did the cashier say, "Oh, Jimmy, how'd you find out about Coca-Cola?"
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's keeping our name and brand out there is important, and especially in print. Print is really hard to justify an ROI.
Mm-hmm. Because they'll read about it, they'll Google it, they'll ask their friend about it, and they'll tell you that they found it on a billboard.
Exactly. And they might not even had a billboard up there.
Yep.
It's just a matter of when they're ready to make that buying decision. Where's the last thing they heard about that particular business? And it could have been a referral. I
had a client on After Hours have a customer come in and they asked how they heard about it. They said, "Oh, I saw you on a billboard," and they said, "Oh, we don't do any billboard advertising." I said, "Oh, it must have been this place. Like, we don't do that either. Like, do you do radio?" They said, "We sponsor one radio show." I'm like, "Oh, that must have been it." So it's, and I talk to my clients about that all the time. Is don't look at the dollars and look at your Google searches, look at your social media followings, things like that. If those are going up, you're not just the luckiest business owner in the world. Things are happening for a reason.
The thing that's nice about what we do in particular for the magazines is that we match it with engaging editorial. And once you can get that reader to engage in the magazine, they might be reading the story, but maybe out of the corner of the eye, they see an ad for a particular retail location or a restaurant, and they might come back to it again. Our stories really don't have a lifetime. They don't have a particular life.
They don't age out. Yeah.
Yeah. You can pick up a copy of Omaha Magazine from 2-3 years ago and read about somebody that was in there and go, "Oh man, I haven't heard about someone. I haven't heard from so-and-so, or I heard about so-and-so for a long time, or wonder what they're up to." And those ads are still in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. We've touched on a lot today. Is there anything about Omaha Magazine that we haven't noticed or mentioned that people should know about?
Wow. Well, like I mentioned, go vote.
There's the QR code right there. Use your phone.
QR code. If you're on, you can click on that QR code and it'll take you to the registration page.
Is there a Best of Omaha podcast option?
Not yet.
Maybe we have goals to set for 2027.
Not yet. We haven't gone down that road yet. But that could be sometime in the works. Now, I think we've touched on pretty much everything that we do. And
plug the website one time for everybody.
OmahaMagazine.com.
There it is. That's very
easy website.
Gil, I appreciate you doing this with me today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's been great. I appreciate you having me on. And like I said, if anybody has any questions about the magazine, they can certainly go to our website. They can certainly call my office.
If you'd like to be a guest on Gil's podcast,
you can.
Sorry,
that's okay. I've gotten a lot of people that requested to be on the podcast. Yeah, that's kind of that's been kind of a cool response to say, "Hey, how do I get on the podcast?
Yeah.
Or what do we do?"
I cut you off. Phone number. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. 402-884-2047. Happy to help you out. We have tons of material in the office. You can get. If you're a business and you want to promote it, you can come get posters. You can come get go vote cards. It might be a little late for the custom vote cards. We also make up custom cards with their QR code. So it might be a little bit late since the voting ends in August, and the turnaround time might not be. I don't know when this is going to air.
Yeah, it'll air tomorrow. But that's
okay.
That's great for
we might still be able to get them done.
People that are networking though to take those with them as well.
But they can certainly stop by the office and pick up some materials and promote Best of Omaha. So.
Well, while you're watching this tomorrow, we appreciate you watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel out a ton. This has been the Spotlight Omaha podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. We'll see you in the morning.